So you still have a quorum.
I have a body to ride like he does, but.
Okay, we'll call to order. We have a quorum.
By the way, here's some.
What's that?
I'll give it to you.
Okay, yeah. So first step is to read the minutes. See if you have any comments.
Okay.
It was a short meeting. It was our shortest meeting ever last month, if you remember. You were all here, and it was very short.
But we met in December, so let's take it for that.
So any comments on the minutes?
Well, there's a spelling on item 7.
Item 7, spelling.
Where it says Chan, new
Oh, members. Yeah.
membership.
Kind of how we talk. Good, Ralph. I went right over that twice.
I'm sorry. On number 7 last month.
It says me, Ralph, no participation in holiday parade. I was in the parade.
Yeah, that's what you told us, and nobody else joined
But
you.
we didn't have our.
You
Well,
said you were there, and where were we? That was your comment.
Because I was not a member for Granada Hills North Neighborhood Council. I was there for the North Valley Coalition,
As you usually do in your little Model T, right?
Model T.
Yeah. Where's the misspelling? 7?
Members.
Oh. Well, how did that get past my spell checker?
It got passed by me and I read
Did
it
you buy
twice.
a spell checker from China?
I guess I did.
Or one of the on sale, getting rid of it once.
That's weird. You wouldn't think that's a real word, would you?
Members.
Memder?
M-E-M-D.
I never heard of that word.
Memd.
Okay, it's corrected.
Okay, now I really just, that next thing, Ralph, no person. It should really be something different, because I was in the parade and I got a first place for pre-19.
No, I'll make a note of that. Okay, so.
Maybe no participation in holiday parade.
Why'd you say?
GHNC, because we didn't have
We
the
don't
trouble.
know is that Ralph participation in parade.
From GHNNC, how's that?
From GNA.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
But if you look at that, that's, it's not a true statement.
Right. If you take it literally, it's not a true statement.
Take off the Ralph and after it say by GHNC.
Except Ralph got first place.
In pre-1940.
Pre-1940?
Yes.
Okay. You are
Except can we put
pre-1940,
in,
right?
these are minutes, and we didn't know that last meeting, so technically we can't put that in.
No, I can't put that in.
But we can get rid of the Ralph and we can just put no.
Oh, but no, we knew that Ralph was in the parade.
We knew he was in it, but we had no this year.
But you didn't tell us that you won the first place prize.
We can put those in today's minutes that you told us.
Yeah, right.
The next sentence, Bill on swing set.
What's that?
The next sentence doesn't make sense either. You think he's on a swing set the way it is.
No, we talked about the swing set in the
We
front
talked
yard
about
of
the
the
swing
house.
set.
No, reference swing set.
Yeah, and Bill said that, and a sunset, same thing.
The way it is, you think he's on the swing set. If you read that sentence.
He's on the swing set?
Bill on the swing set.
Well, he's talking on the swing
Bill
set.
talked on the swing
I
set
think you
in
know
the
that
front
Bill's
yard.
not on the swing set. I think you figured that out.
Maybe that's why he's not here.
Am I being too picky on grammar or so?
You're being picky on grammar. This is minutes, not a,
Dissertation.
what do they say in court? Court reporter, what do they call it?
Transcript.
Court reporter rights.
Transcript.
Transcript, yeah, this is not a transcript, this is minutes, not a transcript.
Well, our minutes should actually give somebody what it really is if you look at this 10
Yay!
weeks later.
Hey, don't made it. You get a bicycle tow truck or what?
Well, you never know.
You never know.
That'll work. So, start yet?
We started, but we're still on the minutes, so
So let
we're
Bill
in
comment
time.
on the thing that in his statement there.
Yeah, you can look at. what do you
Number
wrote?
7.
Number 7.
Al thinks I said you're riding on the swing set in that guy's yard next to you.
Oh, if you said that, that's incorrect.
No, I didn't quite say that.
Depends how you.
That's his interpretation of my English,
Ah, well.
or my lack
Maybe if you put a
of, my
colon-
lack of English.
If you put a colon
There,
there,
pass that down.
and put a colon there and say on swing set issue. Or something. Bill on swing set, see, there you are swinging, speeding around the corner, house came in front, right? Yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Remember that from English?
The colon might be better than the dash.
Okay, I'll put a colon in there and make everybody happy.
Relax.
Yeah, relax, sit down.
I'm working on it. That's better.
That's all right, guys.
All right.
Hey, Bill, you got any other comments on there?
Oh, in the minutes?
Yeah.
You already got the adjourned on there, so, no, I think that's fine. Okay,
Okay, all those that approve the minutes, raise your hand. Okay, thank you. The next item is the public comments, so, yes.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm William Kuzman. Thank you for sending out the email for today's meeting with the notification about the DMV problems. I did go to the website and I did look at the agenda. Unfortunately, because I don't live next to it or right around it, I don't know really what the problems are, and probably would have been a little helpful to explain maybe in the agenda what the problems were that were going to be
I
discussed.
figure when you tried to park here, you would find out.
Again, you know, my point is that could have been said in the agenda that it's creating a real parking problem. We're going to discuss it rather than problems and not knowing what those problems were.
Okay.
Also, again, I like the fact that the email went out and that was great. But also, I feel like a meeting like this that's dealing with such a critical community issue should be held in the evening when people are off work and would have a chance to attend and give their input. I mean, I'm fortunate I have the freedom to make my own schedule every day, so I can attend a meeting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and even
The
record
problem
it.
is that some of our committee members cannot make
Again,
evening
I'm
meetings.
just making my friendly suggestion, you know, for the benefit of the community and their ability to come and give input on what is an important community issue. The meeting should be scheduled in the evening for them and not during the day, because otherwise they don't have, everybody doesn't have like a full opportunity to come in and share their thoughts. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Jim.
Can I comment? I believe that we are going to be addressing this in other committees, and I would hope that as a board, if we see enough people that want to come, that we will schedule
Yeah,
one meeting of all the committees together.
Well, I think we may very well have a resolution today ourselves, so it'll be
Right.
at the board meeting in the evening. This is
So,
just
point well
preliminary at
taken.
this
Thank
point
you.
with the safety committee. And then if the safety committee wants to actually do anything, we have to take it to the board meeting for action.
Again, you know, mostly my concern is to do everything possible, and in this case, something important was done, that email went out, said we've got an area of concern. It was that email that caught my attention. Okay, I just really want to say that, and you guys know how closely I pay attention.
Yep.
But even in this particular case, that email, that subject line caught my attention, and obviously it caught the attention of 2 other new people here
Well,
today.
we've actually had emails from the public on this subject. So.
I know. So again, I love that part of it. Then there's this little next step, which is just to make it available to as much people as possible. And otherwise, everything's great, you know, and I'm recording it so the rest of the public will have an opportunity to hear what the problems are that need to be addressed.
Would you guys like to speak?
Okay, my name is Guillermo. I live right here in front of the DMV. I'm here because I have a lot of concern about the DMV. We don't have a parking to park on the street. I live in Woolly, and it's impossible to park. Next to me, I have a neighbor she's like a 90-something years old. She cannot go out during the day because she never find parking. She try to park again. And she's not able to open the door on the back because we have an alley, but she's too older to open the door.
Guillermo, where do you live?
But I live right here, the first house next to the liquor. It's 1116.
I'm with me.
On Woodley, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not the issue is not only the parking as well. We have issues with the vendors. Like the first week, they have tacos on the corner, mangoes on the corner. Somebody was complaining for the same thing, and I think they called the police. I was walking on the area to see what's going on because a lot of people cry all the time. It's a big line right there. I think there are more than 1,000 people just visiting DMV just one day. And there are people that are selling fake documents, like fake resident cards and things like that. It's like, come on, that start changing the area. This is in a few years, a couple of years, 1 year, this is going to be a new Van Nuys.
Yeah, excuse me, because my hearing's not real good.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't quite catch what you're saying there about the people are doing what again?
They are selling fake documents.
Oh, they're selling fake documents?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because the people approach me, hey, they want a win card, because you know most of the people right there they have papers, and that's what. Yeah. And it's like, come on, this is ridiculous.
What have you seen as far as police presence here since the DMV came in? Have you noticed?
The first week, yeah, we have a presence of the police.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think they removed with the vendors as well, and they are working on the parking to see if there is something wrong. But that is, I think the last week, I don't know this week.
Yeah, I've seen security guards, but I haven't seen any police. That's what I've noticed. I don't know.
And I called to the city and say, hey, if there is any way that we can reserve the parking at least for the lady next to me because she doesn't have a way to park. And if you really want to park, you have to go to Rinaldi to find a parking. And they say, no, the street is public. There is no any way that we can reserve a parking for her or for you.
Yeah.
Does she have a handicap placard?
No.
Okay, no, first step.
She should. That's the only temporary solution I can think. It shouldn't have to be, but I'm sure at that age she could get her doctor to give her a handicap placard.
That would be.
And at least there are here in the center quite a few handicap spots. And I don't know if there's one on the street there or not, but.
No, there is no.
I don't think so.
But you can park, the handicap sticker, even if it's limited parking to a half hour, an hour, whatever, she can park there 24 hours with a handicap sticker. That would probably help her. Just something to think about temporarily until we can come up with some sort of solution
If she
for
can
this.
across the street to park here.
What's that?
They're
If she
talking about,
can
no,
get
no, no,
across the
Jan.
street.
They're talking about when she leaves her house, she can't park when she comes back.
But if the spaces are all filled in front of her house, she still
That's
can't
what
park.
she's saying. You
Yeah.
can't leave because.
So a handicap placard really wouldn't help.
Maybe
Well,
there's
first step
some
is
limited
get
parking
the
there.
Unless we can get a handicap
Okay,
space across the street.
well, that
A lot of
happens.
Right.
houses have it in front of their
Yeah,
own.
Really? That's great.
Ralph's got a point. We might be able to, because it does exist many places on the street. They sometimes will put in a handicap
Yeah.
parking
Yeah.
spot.
That's what we were just saying, but first you gotta have the placard so
think-
you can use it.
I'd like to make a motion that we pursue getting a handicap parking or two across the street.
I suggest we wait until public comment is in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you do that at, when we get to committee member comments. Let's make that resolution then, okay?
But since it's not on the agenda, you can't do it.
Well, we can't act on it, but we can talk about it and get it on the agenda next time.
Quick question, there is any way that the city can give us just restricted park right there, that just for the people who live on the other street, on the street?
Well, yeah,
There is any way that we can
that's quite an extensive process too. That would even be harder probably, but yes, you can get parking for residents only.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen overnight. It's
Mhm.
quite involved because you have to have a long period for all the neighbors to get stickers on their cars so they don't get tickets. It's gonna be pretty involved to get that approved.
Let's go to city council.
Yeah.
And it may be, and if it's a collector street or a main street, if it's identified by that, they may not permit it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's lots of issues.
It'd probably be a lot easier to get a handicap parking spots, a couple of them over there than that, I
For the
would
rest of
think.
it.
But
But at least we can try to see if we can get a.
we can look into that for you with
At the end, if we got
with-
the negative answer, that would be great, but at least we try. We can try.
Yeah, we can talk to the city council office, CD 12 about that, see what they say, but I don't think it's gonna be positive. I mean, that's gonna be, the problem here hopefully will be solved before that's gonna go in over there across the street.
Okay.
Because I don't think this is gonna be forever jammed here. It's just there's a tremendous demand backed up, obviously, with the new law. You know, I would hope that 6 months or a year from now, the problem is gonna be gone, but.
But where do they park for the next 6 months? If you
Well,
come home and you have nowhere to park.
Yeah, but
that's
I
an
mean,
issue.
to get that through the city
Right.
council,
Oh, no, it does. It
then the
takes a
signs
while.
manufactured and installed, and the neighbors have to have months to buy the
To get the
stickers before they're gonna get a ticket. Yeah, Mr. Kuzman, yes.
Oh, this is public comment, not agenda items. Maybe we can get through it and actually go to the agenda item and discuss this maybe in an open discussion format. I'd like to make comments, but they're comments on the agenda item, not public comments on non-agenda items.
That's true, it is an agenda item, but,
Well, again, I'm saying there are some things I'd like to speak to on the agenda item, but
Okay, sure.
but in this portion of the meeting,
Yeah,
in
you can
hopes
do
to
that.
get us moved on to actual
You
discussion
can do
of the
that.
agenda item.
is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, just for what I know, the DMV is gonna be here for a while. It's not gonna be just for a year. It's
Well,
gonna be
yeah,
for a
the
while.
DMV is
That's
gonna be
permanent.
here
Yeah,
for a
and
long while, yeah.
That's means the next year.
But I
is gonna
hope
be the same.
that there won't be the million people waiting in line that there are now to get a license,
This
you
is
know.
public comment.
He gets, Guillermo, you get to discuss this again when they talk
Yeah,
about the
let's
agenda
just go to
item.
the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk again
Okay,
here.
great. I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah?
Everything I have is regarding the same issue, so I'll wait till we get to
Yeah.
the
Okay.
agenda item.
Okay.
Before.
Hi.
Come on in.
How are you?
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I know you.
You do?
Yes, I saw you at a meeting earlier today.
No, you didn't.
Oh, you did? You don't work for Remax?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I told you I saw you there at the meeting.
Okay.
Oh, darn, that twin is going.
No,
You have to watch out for
I see. I think I was, yeah, Massimo, I was trying to get you in Massimo. Hi.
Anyway, we're just wrapping up public comments. Did you have something you would like to talk to us about?
No,
No? Okay.
no, just here for the meeting.
Let's sit back, relax, and,
All right. Oh, thank you.
okay, the next item is
trying to go to public comment.
the DMV.
Now we can get into the good stuff.
And we're looking actually to hear problems people are having, plus anybody has a solution. We definitely want to hear that.
This is where I could bring up my point about handicap parking issue, as a simple solution. For
Sure.
people across the street.
Well, it's a solution for a couple people anyway,
Yes.
but maybe one lady, but
But it is for somebody in the area.
Remember, this is for members of the committee. Would you like to make this an agenda item for the next meeting?
Make what?
Proposal to put handicap parking, 1 or 2 spaces
My
across the street?
opinion, no,
Huh?
no.
Okay, Jan?
I would like to contact the council office and see what they had to say and do some looking into this.
Okay.
And then decide if we should put it on the agenda. If we see there's some, you know, hope at getting this done, maybe. And even if that one lady wouldn't like it, it still may not be a bad idea. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I might want it, but I'd like to see if we have something we can do with it between now and the next meeting.
I think we need to look at broader solutions. First off, if she does not have a handicap placard,
Yeah, that's
she
true.
cannot
She-
use that
yeah,
space.
Right, she can't
And now
use it
we've
to-
lost the space on the street, and those that park here will park there, so
I think we'd be better off, you're correct,
Yeah,
looking
we
at
need
broad
to-
solutions.
bigger solution.
But I do have, not only this woman, anybody who's handicapped, it may be an issue to bring up at some point.
Okay, do I have anybody on the committee who would like to volunteer to talk to CD12 about this?
You know what, I will, because I talked to them with Plum quite a bit.
Right.
So let me call the office and see who the right person to talk to is.
And we'll discuss it at the next board meeting also, you know, I'll bring it up
Okay, but let me get the
for comments
discussion.
for public safety for this issue. And we're probably gonna be bringing it up at the Plum Committee, which is.
It's already on the
next week.
preliminary agenda
Yeah.
we're working on for next
Yeah, that is something to know. We're having a Plum meeting when?
Monday at 2:00.
Monday at 2:00 here will be a Plum meeting. This will also be on the,
Planning and land use.
yeah, Planning and Land
It'll
Use
be on our
Committee. This will
agenda.
also, same subject will be on the agenda there. Mr. Koosman?
Just to help me out, as I said in the beginning, when it talks about the problems with the DMV, I'm recognizing now that the main problem is a parking issue problem. I'd like to know, have any other problems been identified as well besides the parking problem that we need to address during the course of the discussion?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we just heard two.
This was just brought up,
I
there's-
heard that, but I'm just saying from the committee, if there's anything else that's been identified as a problem besides the parking issue, I'd like to hear about that.
yeah, well,
specific.
the other issues are law enforcement and
Law enforcement
gangs
for,
of people hanging out, and things
Street vending,
leading
fighting is
to
what
the
I
type of
heard
things,
about.
people's illegal activity, let's put it that way. Various
vending.
types of illegal activity due to the crowds.
okay, now, if I can make just a general statement, just based on what I've ascertained, because I might have to leave early today. You've got a big parking issue, you've got an influx that's acute at the DMV because of the new licensing laws for the resident aliens to be able to come in and get their license, which is creating a huge influx, which is going to last for a little while. So we have an acute problem that's temporary, but we might have a long-term problem that we're not going to be fully aware of until this acute problem starts to dissipate and go away. Now, I heard the gentleman say something about, getting designated party, and you had responded with, that's a long, drawn-out process. But I think
Resident-only parking, yes.
right, and I think that maybe not long-term, but a temporary resident parking until the acute issue associated with the congregation of people in this neighborhood, and then of course 8 o'clock and 2 or 3 whenever school lets out adds another element of acuteness every single school day.
Yep.
So we have compounding issues. The school needs to be notified that the parents need to stay out of the shopping center parking lot to pick up their
That's
children.
a good point.
So that needs to be addressed to the school because they're contributing to the problem. As Jan asked me, did I get a parking spot when I got here? And I said, yeah, by faith, God always gives me a good one right over here next to the wall. I didn't have to park in a 20-minute zone. I didn't have to park in a handicap zone without a placard. I didn't have to do any of those things. I got lucky. But yeah, parking was not really available when I drove up. So we know that that's the biggest issue, but we also know it's got factors to it. Now, when you talk to Mr. England, I would ask about a temporary resident-only restriction until such time as the acute problem's resolved and it can be reevaluated
Again,
to
but-
determine whether to make it permanent or
But the
not.
problem is, to get that set up as residential, you gotta put in all new street signs,
Well,
no parking
I
except
know,
residents.
when the city council is motivated to get something done, it can be done in less than 15 days because that occurred at Granada
Yeah, but you
Hills
also-
South with that street crossing sign that needed to go in because of an acute problem caused by the what do they call it? I'll call it just the food truck night. They've got a different name for it. But food truck night created an acute problem every Friday night. And I tell you that, it just took the Public Safety Committee a video showing how many cars run when that thing's flashing, how many people were barely missed by cars. And Englander's office and the city was right on that, and that thing got in. And now that's still not working good enough because people keep still running it. So now the city has already approved putting a traffic signal in that situation, in that spot. And they're working to do it fast. So I'm saying to you, when there's an acute problem, let's count on our councilmen to
Yeah,
get
but this is a little
handled.
different. This one, the neighbors, the people who live there have to have a sticker in their car so they don't get a ticket.
That's
They have
okay.
to be given a lengthy time to get to buy their permits.
Again, we don't.
We'll look into
All
it.
I
Yeah.
know
We'll look
is
at
that
that.
the city council has the availability to operate quickly. They have the availability to do an interim restriction until they address the problem. I mean, there's lots of solutions. Is kind of what
That's
I'm
why we're
getting
sending
at.
Jan
Yeah,
to the council
this
office.
is missionary, not Devonshire right here, is this not?
Mission.
Mission, okay.
Well, that's
No,
it.
it's
That said it's
Devonshire.
mission.
Is that-
Ma'am,
Is
that's-
it still Devonshire?
Yes.
I was told
Remember the
that.
letter from?
Maybe help to get the parking per resident would be to get it, a sticker so that they can park there, but still have it be like an hour parking or something over there so that it's not, it's not cutting off all other parking. Maybe that would be an easier way for them to say yes to resident stickers.
Yeah, I mean, normally what the signs say, 30-minute parking, except for residents who have a
Right.
sticker in their window.
Yeah.
But you have to give the residents time to get a sticker, because anybody who doesn't have a sticker is gonna get a ticket if they exceed the time, so.
We will, we'll look into all those options, the councilman.
They may help us come up
What do you
with, or
call
we
them,
may,
Reserve.
Hey, Ralph,
yeah.
Well, okay, that aside, there's still one other issue that was brought up. That is illegal sales in this area, food and vendors, et
Oh,
cetera. And when CD 12 was at our last meeting, she said they're working on this too, and they have to work more diligently because
Right.
they're still here.
yep, yep.
Because
Well,
we have no street vendor appreciation, or whatever you wanna call it. We don't have, it's not legal in the city of LA.
Nope,
And as you say, they're here.
yeah. And that's why I think for 1 week, the police were here very heavy, and that kinda stopped it for that week, but they're not here this week, so it's coming back again,
Means we have to call them again.
Now, there are a lot of security guards around here. I haven't been around here enough to see exactly what they're doing. I know the other day when I was here, there was a security guard in every section of the parking lot. I haven't driven around the lot yet today. I will on the way out. Anybody
I
drive
have
through a lot
not
on the
seen
way
that.
here?
I've driven by here to do errands occasionally,
Bill.
just to take a look.
Yes, I have seen that.
Okay.
Do be aware that many avenues are being pursued on this. Regardless of what you may or may not say, not everything happens quickly. The property owner here has requested through CD 12, and they have passed a resolution in city council authorizing CHP, because that is state and DMV is state, to come onto private property and enforce certain, apparently not all, but certain traffic laws. In order for that to happen, the property owner here has to properly post the applicable signs. I do not know if he's done that yet, but the resolution has passed through city council to enable that portion of it. As far as street vendors, that does not come under the purview of LAPD. That's health department and or building safety. So that creates yet another, loop you have to go through. It was mentioned at our last board meeting, even though police was here writing a ticket, they were ignoring the food trucks because it's not their jurisdiction. So it gets really, really complicated. Don't ask why, it just is. But many avenues are being pursued. You've probably seen some signs out in front of here where the tenants have taken upon themselves to post some signs. The problem with the 30-minute parking is that first you would have to have significant enforcement to make that happen. Otherwise, the 30-minute is an hour or two, and you still don't get a resident in there. So, you know, but as far as the security guards, we have seen a few more here. But I don't know much of what they can do because it is private property. Maybe they can issue a warning. That might be something else we can look into. They can invite the police to come on, but that could take 2 or 3 hours, and by then the car's gone. So,
well, security guards, I talked to one of the security guards the other day when I was here. I was talking with one of the security guards to ask him how's it going and stuff, and he says, no problem at all as long as I'm standing here. He says, you know, when I leave, you know. So usually, you know, most people obey security guards, even though there's a lot of legal technicalities that what they can do.
But if they're not in the car, you know, I'll move it in a minute. Just gonna, you know. But anyway, go on.
Some people actually obey them.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
But yeah, there's and for your all information, like I say, this is just the first committee that's taken this issue up. The one that Jan is heading, public land use, is taking it up. This will be our next board meeting. On the first Monday next month, this will be a major issue of discussion, I'll guarantee you.
He's talking about the board.
So,
And come to the meeting.
yeah, and please come to the meetings. Our website's GHNNC, Granada Hills North Neighborhood Council.org, and all the meetings are listed in there. Some of them are here at the office. The board meetings are usually at St. Euphrasia Church, which is down that way.
At 6:30.
The next board meeting is Tuesday, February 3rd at 6:30 at St. Euphrasia. The entire board, not a committee meeting.
I would suggest you be there because the more people there, it gets the attention of the CD12 representatives that's there.
Right, who tends to come pretty much every month.
Yeah.
Megan is there a lot. And I had been in touch with the senior lead who's supposed to be there. I don't know where she was last week. But I'm going to really try before I leave town next week to get her to say, yes, I'll come February 3rd, or I will send somebody.
Yeah, this is definitely the biggest issue we've had in the neighborhood council for some time. This is a very hot issue.
Is this a permanent DMV?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of 3, I think it's now 4 super centers in the state of California specifically built to handle this illegal immigrant
Yeah. One of the things that
applications.
One of the things that concerns me is not only is it supposedly permanent, but this is the one DMV that is on the news all the time. And I feel like it's giving Granada Hills a bad name.
Yeah, well, I think this is the one that's been designated officially as the one for driver's licenses for undocumented people, isn't it?
One of 3, or I think there's a 4th.
They opened it because of that issue.
I think it's 4. So yeah, it's 1 of 4 for that specific purpose.
Mr. Guzman,
How long has the DMV here been open?
how long is it?
How long has it been open here?
3 weeks.
January.
Yeah, about
Maybe
2 or
it's
3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. Oh, so when I needed to come to the DMV, and I drove to Winnetka or whatever it was, I didn't have the choice of coming here yet.
Don't know. I don't know exactly
Well,
what they brought. They
Well,
do
you
other
could
things.
have come here in day one
Yeah.
and waited in a giant line, or you could have gone over there and got right in.
But it's only a couple weeks ago, so it did open after the ordinance was passed
It
to.
was after January 1st. It was
After
January something.
the time when they were
It
allowed.
was the
to
first
come
week in
and fly.
January.
Yeah.
it
So
went
we
open.
don't have a baseline from before to even measure to.
No, it wasn't open.
You could get an appointment.
Yeah, you get an appointment. If they get an
Yeah.
appointment, it'd be no problem.
Well, they do get appointments. That's the problem. To get an appointment, you don't need an appointment. So everybody comes to get an appointment and comes back again.
Well, a lot of them are doing it.
Sometimes, yeah.
Hello.
I thought you called or went online.
Yeah, you can do that.
Right.
Come on in.
You know, that was the big issue, is they allow them to come and make appointments without an appointment.
I just went to Triple A.
Yeah.
Paid extra money.
Yeah, I mean, if they would say appointments only, there wouldn't be the big line. I presume it's there today. It was there the day before yesterday. There was a big line to get in. I presume it's that way every day. There's a big line out front. And that's why there's so many cars here that,
And
you
if we
know,
could talk to
because the people are
DMV
waiting in line
somehow,
there
or through
half a
council,
day, all day. I don't know,
maybe
waiting in line.
change it to appointment required.
Yeah, if we could talk the state into changing it to appointments only, that would probably solve most of the problem alone. I don't know that we're gonna be able to talk the state into that, but that's,
Or they could have a line.
what's that?
They could have a line for appointments on.
That's what it is.
No, I think most people are just waiting in line to get in and wait in line.
Okay.
Oh,
The way it works at the DMV, and this one's, I think, the same as all the rest of them, you can either call and get an appointment for 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, or whatever it is when they have appointments, or you can just come in and wait till it's your turn.
I'll
I understood, I had heard that many of the people
That's-
in line were there to get an appointment for later, but maybe it's both.
Not, the only thing I know is not normally at
Okay.
DMVs, that's not the case,
Okay.
but might be at this one, I don't know. Yes?
It is normal to have lines at DMVs.
Oh, yeah.
And as I said, I was just there in December, actually it was November. And every time I've been to the DMV over the years, I would say the last 20 years, at any time I've had the opportunity to go, I always go first thing in the morning too, so I'm always there when the lines are there, but I already have my appointment first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
so
I was
am
just
in.
at the DMV.
But I'm just saying that the Winnetka had a line of about 100 people in one of the lines, and this was regular, and this is before the ordinance.
Really?
So the lines at DMV are not uncommon. I can tell you the same thing. The last time I was at the Van Nuys DMV, there were 100 people in line waiting before the doors opened. So your lines at your DMV are common irregardless of location. But again, we've got an acute thing here because they're saying this is one of the 5 we want you to go to for this new thing. So
It's not normal, because if you go to Simi,
Because
it
if
is
it's
by
Simi, you
location,
don't
you go to
get
Simi
that.
if you
Valley
go to
and there's no
Simi
line
or if
at
you go
all.
to Santa Clarita, you don't have the lines.
Right.
And Arleta.
Okay, but if you are
The
in the
Arleta
valley,
office is a
that's what
short line.
when I say Van Nuys, I mean Arleta. It's the
No,
one
no,
on Van
this
Nuys
is not
Boulevard.
Van Nuys.
It's on Van Nuys Boulevard.
No, Arleta's a different one.
Oh.
There's
Well,
a-
anyway,
that
I've been to
one- that's
Arleta.
what you don't know
Oh, that's
about,
right.
that's why.
What I meant to say was the Arleta branch I've been to,
huh.
thinking that that's on Van Nuys Boulevard is what my memory was telling me, but obviously, but it is Arleta, and I know there's lines there.
And
Again,
Thousand Oaks also.
I mean, the
has
beauty
hardly
of
any
having
line.
automobile club is most of my stuff, I don't have to go to the
Are there a
DMV.
lot of things, like I just went to the AAA this morning to register my car, or take my vanity plate to my car. Are there a lot of things you have to do besides getting a driver's license at a DMV, or could you go to a AAA office?
You go to
You go to
AAA for
AAA.
everything except driver's
Yeah.
licenses.
You can, okay, that's why, except for my kids' license.
Unfortunately, driver's license you can't do at AAA, everything else you can do at AAA. All
Oh,
the car registration,
that's what I
handicap.
did this morning.
Mhm.
Okay, anyway,
I'm assuming it's.
let's just, do you know, we've already discussed parking problems, vendors selling
Stuff.
green cards, etc., wandering around the parking lots here. Do you know of any other problems that we're having with this?
I don't come up with it, I don't know. I was here last night and when everything's closed here. I use the cleaners, but, otherwise.
Right. Last week, or maybe it was the week before, right when it opened, as plum person, I got a couple calls about fighting going on. I don't know if it's still going on, but I immediately said to those people, you've got to contact the police. That's a police issue, fighting. So I don't know if that's still going on, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was last week, early in the week. I got 2 phone calls from people who said they're fighting is at planning and land use, and I said, I would call the police department.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I mean, right now, we're at
No,
the,
you go in there and break it up.
not the worst of it, the kids are getting out in what, 15 minutes or something?
I
There's already
think
a
today's
bunch
our
out.
early day, I think they did it.
Oh, they
There's a
got
bunch
that
out already.
I see kids wandering around there.
They
At
always-
least I haven't noticed any fights breaking out or anything so far as I can see out the window.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Probably over parking.
I will contact the council office tomorrow. I will email the committee as to if I hear anything, what I hear. And then, as far as letting stakeholders hear, what do you suggest? Do we get in touch with Aaron to put something on the website?
I would suggest we wait, and that should be a board decision.
Okay. But I will get in touch with council office tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm sure
And
we'll
I'll
get some,
email
we'll
our
get some
committee.
people at the Plum meeting too to make
Yeah.
comments. Maybe we'll
Yep.
get some more ideas.
We want to make sure we're right if we put it on the website.
You're correct.
Is
You know, the
plum
only thing I'm
meeting
thinking
before?
about is,
Plum meeting is next Monday at 2:00.
So you're gonna discuss it again?
Yeah,
next
it's already
Monday.
on our, we're beginning to make the
So you
agenda.
probably would wanna send out another email again.
We'll send out a plum agenda probably Friday.
Well, I mean, if this, I don't know how this notice for this one came out with that catchy topic.
Oh,
but
did
you're
you
gonna-
send a notice out to our stakeholders
Aaron
through
blasted
Aaron?
it.
I had Aaron do
Okay,
it.
then
So
maybe
yeah,
what
I
I'll
asked
do
him
is
if-
the same thing, I'll have it sent out Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I asked Aaron to send out an extra email blast
Okay.
on this, because I thought this subject, a lot of people would be
Did
interested in.
you ask
Yeah.
Michael permission to do that first?
No, he's actually said to do that every
Okay,
thing.
then I'll do the same thing, I'll let
Yeah.
Agnes know, I'll take care of that.
You know, we're actually, we've asked Aaron in the past to send out an email blast on every meeting.
Okay.
This is one of the few times he responded to me,
Okay,
but
sorry.
I've asked for it every time.
Okay, I'll have Aaron do that before Plum is we send that agenda out.
So anybody else on the committee have any other major comments on this subject of the DMV?
Only thing I would do is reiterate that it is crowded every time I do come by.
What's that?
I said it is crowded every time I come by, and I do make, specific swings through every so often. 2 days ago, I saw 2 cars parked in the back, where it said motorcycle parking on. But I did see a security guard there, but I don't know what he did. Maybe he was just waiting for them to come out.
I was wondering if, I know I'm late to the game right now, but if the state has been contacted, because I know that most of the time the parking lots are really specifically for the DMV, and here you do have the multi-use parking lot.
Yeah.
What, how does the state?
Well, the only thing I know is what Bill mentioned earlier, and we've all seen in our emails, is that the state's been contacted to be able to use the highway patrol. The highway patrol is working with LAPD, so supposedly the council passed a resolution to allow, normally the highway patrol could not enforce its parking lot, but they've been given permission by the city of Los Angeles that the CHP can come in here whenever they want and enforce whatever needs to be enforced.
Apparently it's very restrictive. I read the email, and there's only 2 or 3 laws, traffic laws, that they're allowed to enforce. But that can't be implemented until the landlord gets up the appropriate signs. I don't know what they are or if they're up yet. I'm assuming they aren't up yet, but I don't know that. It's like anything else. You can't ticket them for parking if it doesn't say no parking, so.
That brings up a good point. I think the one thing we need to do is we have no idea directly anyway, as far as I know. I don't have any idea on the landlord's position on this. I'm sure he was not expecting this when he
According to,
rented it to a DMV.
that is the funny thing about the resolution. On the date of the resolution, it was dated before, it was like December. Gee, none of us were concerned about that until, so apparently, it's like everybody seemed, it's like the letter we got from Wade, everybody seemed to have known and expected, except us. So it was dated December, and it specifically says, the owner of the property has requested this, because that, I guess, is the requirement. So he requested it in December, and the resolution was passed, and it said on there that you had to put up, the enforcement cannot begin until appropriate signs are posted. And at least in that one pager, it didn't say what the signs were, but it made reference to the vehicle code. And then CHP is able to come on and enforce, and it mentioned 3 specifics. So apparently they can't do everything, but maybe it's like parking, I think, illegal parking, excessive display of speed, and there was a third one I can't remember. So, jaywalking, as we would know it, I don't think they can enforce that, for example, it's a parking lot, but don't know. So we should also talk to Ricky as part of that and see,
Yeah, that was what I'm getting to, Ricky.
Yeah.
I've met him once years ago. I only know him. Does anybody know him on the committee?
He's been at many meetings we've
Yeah, he
had.
comes to meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Does somebody want to talk to him? Volunteer to talk to him, or I will if you don't want to. I don't know.
I think maybe we ought to talk to some of these other people first, but it may not be a bad thing to talk to
I
him.
think, I mean, he should be all over this. I'm sure he probably is.
I'm not so sure that what you're mentioning, you're correct, that all happened this last week in December. And I'm not sure that didn't happen as a result of, it was all over the news. This was coming next week. And that's where, I don't know if Ricky and other people may have gotten like, uh-oh, what are we gonna do? We didn't expect this. Cause that all happened right around the same time, last week in December.
Ricky's the property owner, Ricky Gill.
Yeah.
Anybody wanna contact him?
I
If
mean,
you
I
don't,
can
will.
contact him, or if you wanna contact him, I can contact the council office, and then we'll kinda.
Okay, I'll
come
contact
to-
Ricky. I've got his card somewhere. I'll find
Just
it.
be aware.
I'm sure there's a sign somewhere that's got his phone
Probably.
number on it.
Ray, I'll sign out a little bit. I'm leaving town for just 9 days to take care of my dad next
Okay.
Wednesday.
Okay.
But I'll stay in touch. I'll let you know before I go.
Yeah,
what's up.
I'll see you at the plum meeting.
I'll be at Plum Monday before I go.
Yeah, I should be at that. Okay, and I'll contact Ricky. See, he must know something more than we know about what's going on, I would presume. One time I did meet him, seemed like a real nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
The funny thing is, he didn't want Pep Boys to come in here because he thought that would be too much of a mess to have a Pep Boys, and he ends up renting to a DMV, which kind of
As long as you
strange.
don't have any impact wrenches and, you know.
Yeah, he didn't want a few people working on their cars because that'd be a big hassle, and now we ended up with a DMV with new licenses. So
Yeah.
They're gonna have to quit.
you never know. Sometimes it's. That's why I tell people on the land use, you know, when you reject somebody that wants to come in and rent your land, you never know what you're going to get in its place.
Have you been talking to the other vendors, I mean, the store owners?
I have not been,
Has anybody talked to them?
but I'm going to today talk to a couple if I get a chance.
Be interesting.
But obviously, you've noticed everybody's got tow-away signs all over the center now.
And
So
they can't really do that, can they? I
Huh?
mean, it's not, they can't ask to have a car too, can they?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
as
yeah.
long as they post it, legally post it.
That's part of the deal, and maybe that does answer the question, maybe the sign's up already, but with CHP's permission to come on the property, properly posted signs, CHP can enforce specific traffic rules, which includes, you know, illegal parking, so if it's handicap, if it's motorcycle, if it's no parking, CHP can have it done.
I don't know if you
But our
noticed.
name isn't on
They
there.
have a sign here, but they don't have our
They
name
don't have
on
our
it. You
name
should
on
be.
there.
Yeah, I did kinda
So
notice.
I'm illegally
Yeah, I'm
parked.
parked.
Yeah, we have, there's a sign in our window somebody put up. I don't know who put it
Yeah.
up, but there's a tow-away sign
Somebody
in
put
our
it on the
window.
outside and I stuck it on the inside,
Oh, you stuck it, okay.
but somebody put up ahead.
But they need
I
to
just moved it
include us.
inside so the kids couldn't take it.
And I don't know if all these signs are right over here are legal or not. There's
Right.
certain things they have to say on them.
And certain heights and
Right.
certain distances and all
Yeah,
that.
and I don't know if these are legal, but people are making efforts anyway.
But the thing is, the paper has no, like, you know, code number on it or anything.
Yeah, I'm sure it had to
so,
have a code
you're
number
gonna-
and-
You're gonna have to do that.
Yeah,
Place to call to pick up your car.
Yeah.
yeah. You can call a tow yard and they will post the signs for you.
Yeah, for you, yeah.
The nice metal signs at no cost.
And then
Because
you
they
have to
get
have
the
an
towing
exclusive
business
agreement
done
with
away.
them.
They'll put their number on.
Huh?
You gotta
Put
keep
their
it.
number
Oh, they have their phone number
Oh, yeah.
out there. You call them to tow the guys away, yeah, yeah. But
We've seen a
it's
lot of that.
all coming.
Yeah.
So, we're still in the information gathering stage at this point. So this is our first meeting since this.
Kind of all happened kind of quickly.
It happened very quickly, yeah. One last round, it's not on our agenda, but since we do have the public here, which we don't usually have, anybody have any more comments on the issue?
Suggestions?
Okay,
Spike
well,
pen.
stay tuned and come to the meetings. Like I say, this will be on the Plum Committee meeting. It will be, I'm sure, on the agenda for our monthly board meeting, where is the place we can actually officially take action. The board, for us to do anything formally, to write letters to the city government or state government or whatever, our whole board has to approve it. We can't, at this little committee, say, okay, let's write the president, let's get this changed. We can't do that, but the board can. And that's why these committee meetings feed into our board meeting every month, and that's where we make the resolutions. Bill?
I might also point out, there's nothing to prevent you from contacting your city council member expressing your concerns.
Yeah.
There's
Yes,
no
I
reason
know
why you
Mary
shouldn't
had
do
done
that.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Everything.
the more the
As soon as
better.
you get home.
I do you live
CD12.org.
on these houses on Woodley?
No, I'm a realtor.
Oh, because I was wondering how those people are impacted too.
This gentleman lives right across the
Residents.
street.
That's what he was speaking on that
You live
earlier.
here?
He lives right across the street.
And
there.
someone else we know lives across, one house up across that, so, yes.
Then it'd be a good idea to get them people that are impacted or feel the stress of it all,
Yep.
you know, to start really contacting the city council en masse.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is the best way to contact them?
CD12.org is the website. You can, what I would, you can email them. You can talk to them on the phone and find out the best, because they all have deputies and people. They have someone that's specifically assigned to deal with land use, to deal with security, safety. So just call the office and say, hey, I've got a problem about the DMV. Who should I contact? Who should I write the letter to? And they will tell you. And whatever you do, always CC, it's Mitch Englander, .englander@lacity.org. Make sure he gets copies on all of
Mitch
them.
Englander is our city
Yes,
councilman
yeah,
for
Mitch
this
Englander.
area. And it wouldn't hurt to address the letter to him, and he will forward
Right.
it to the right deputy.
Well, it's better to get him and the deputy, because that way the deputy gets the job. Yeah.
The more the
Whoever gets there,
merrier.
just get on with it.
Yeah.
Like anything else, the secretary controls the company. You don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be when he was first got in office.
That's what he said.
He
but
would
that-
read every
yeah.
email. I don't think he is anymore, but
No.
he was. He
Yes, he
definitely
was.
was.
What's the phone number, Jan?
It's on my speed dial.
CD12.org.
I just thought you would have remember.
You
Isn't
know
it
what?
885 or 886
Since they
1212?
changed their number, it's on my speed dial.
I think we have it on our newsletter.
But
Put
that's
that
where I
on
would
there.
start, call the office, and I tend to call Northbridge more than I call downtown.
Oh yeah, the
Actually,
Chatsworth.
Because, or Chatsworth.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
The
field
You're right.
office in
Yes,
Chatsworth.
yes,
The phone number is 882-1212.
Yeah.
and that's
Sorry,
the
888?
area code 818
Ah, okay, sorry. 818?
882-1212. That's their Chatsworth office. Just out. Devonshire till almost the end.
And get not only you to call, if you have other people in the area, the
Well,
more people.
the better thing is to do it with an email or a physical
Right,
letter.
so they
because
have
then
it.
you've got documentation. Then they can say, here's this pile of stuff. If it's just a phone call, you know how that goes.
And you can always send a copy to GHNNC so we know
Yeah.
that people are doing this as well.
Okay,
This is-
thank you.
In our
Okay,
office.
so I think we've pretty well covered this DMV issue for now. Obviously, we'll have a lot more information as the meetings go on. And certainly, we're gonna try to do something about it. But what that will be, we don't know yet. But we're gonna certainly attempt to do something. This committee and all the other committees, and like I say, this will be a hot topic at our next board meeting. You're all welcome to come to all those meetings. You're also welcome to stay for the rest of this meeting, but I can tell you that the remaining subjects will be less exciting. You're welcome to stay
I'm
though.
done with it. But the next meeting is gonna be on Monday at 2 o'clock.
Monday is the Planning and Land Use
Okay.
Committee, 2 o'clock here next Monday. And that's another committee that, will go through the same type issues that we're doing now. The best meeting for you to come to would be the general board meeting, which is that first Tuesday in
And
February.
that's at St. Fraser.
St.
St.
Fraser,
Fraser.
Shoshone, Maryland.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're welcome to come to any of the
Okay,
committee
thank you.
meetings.
On the
But
back
if you're
has
working,
the
you're
info.
taking off work, please stay at work
okay.
and go to the meeting. Seriously,
Okay.
you know.
Perfect, thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, right
Well,
now, I
you're all
remember
by
you
yourself.
now.
Nice
Yeah,
to meet you.
you're very easy,
So
yeah.
long.
Monday, this coming Monday, what's this meeting?
Yes,
Oh, good.
and we're leaving.
Because
We talked about
Take
that.
as much as
We
you
will
want.
be able to
Yes,
park the
okay, I will, thank you.
The
That's
next
why I
two
put them
Mondays
there.
are our national holidays, DMV is
Great
closed.
stuff.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
That's why we're not changing, we're not working those days.
Okay,
Does he come to a meeting 7 o'clock?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
Who is he?
The
Should we
gentleman,
get his
he
name
lives
and
across the
everything?
street.
Yeah, we should have his name and see if we can get him.
Well, his name is,
We did it now.
Vermo.
Do you have it there? Rick?
Guillermo.
Guillermo.
I don't have his last name though.
He didn't email you?
Huh?
He did not email you or
I
anything?
mean,
All right.
Okay, we're up to now, item 5, Ralph.
I had contacted LAUSD and they were supposed to get back with me and they haven't. So I have to refresh that.
Okay.
Because I talked to the safety people in that regard and they said, yes, they're concerned. They are concerned and they'll check into it and blah, blah, blah. And
Is this the people that, Bengal?
here's Guillermo's
the
card.
people that work for the,
Yeah.
a new board member on there.
Galatson or whatever?
Pardon?
Okay, I don't know. I just wonder if you were dealing with the school across the street or
The
something.
guy that came to our meeting,
It's in reference to that,
Oh,
that I was
okay.
referred to safety after, and they referred me to, and now I'm talking to
Okay.
the LUSD,
Yeah.
safety person.
The guy that came to our meeting, like the board meeting last night.
No,
No, wasn't it? Okay. But there was someone in it.
Somebody else was.
anything else on that subject?
No, I'll get back with you.
Okay.
Now, the other one, I have stuff to submit to you. Friday, 6.
I'm sorry. We got an agenda?
Is this the issue you talked about another time, with the safety of that tunnel or something?
Well,
It's gonna be a
that's my
long
next issue.
one.
That's my next issue, and I have things to submit on that.
Okay,
You're
so
not
it's-
getting any responses?
Oh, yes, I'm
You
getting.
know, his business is.
okay, well, we're up to item 6.
Okay.
And I was reporting on item number 6 now.
I have gotten to the point where I contacted the city attorney's office, like you were, and talked to the representative, emailed the decision phase to him, and I got a report back from Alan Shahanigan.
What's the name?
I'm going to give you this.
Am I gonna get this?
Yes.
Okay, I'll add that to the minutes.
And his response was, or her response, A-L-I-N. Is that a man's name or a woman's name?
Who?
A-L-I-N.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Alan Shahanigan. Anyway, I've been doing emailing here, and I got a reply from him. I wanted to let you know that I received your correspondence in regards to the above-mentioned matter, and will get back with you shortly. And that's it. I will coordinate the government and agencies that have jurisdiction in this area to formulate a strategy in addressing this issue. In the meantime, LAPD will patrol the area and do random checks, and I will vertically prosecute any case that arises from this location. I don't know what vertically.
I think it means he'll follow it as opposed to another department, he'll take it up.
Okay, anyway.
But
And then I
probably
emailed
do that.
back,
It's an
I would
agenda.
like to have the opportunity to have Professor Cable from CSUN and I meet with you and perhaps others to discuss some of the ideas that could resolve the problems at this facility and perhaps other facilities, as expressed by some of the city workers that we have met. The problems with these grades are not unique in the city. There are design flaws that need to be addressed for a long-term solution. I've got back to the answer on that one. Here you are, it gives you more of a runaround of, or not a runaround, but status.
So the last contact with him was when?
As long as an attorney design it.
December 17th, and then I replied, January 9th.
Okay.
I had talked to Professor Cable, if Steve Silva was interested in getting together, and he said yes.
Okay, why don't you keep us posted if you get a response?
Yes. Because of this, there is a basic design flaw. A freshman in engineering would have seen that. However, the engineering groups that we have in the city don't see that, and they don't even see that there's a problem. So I think the city spends more time and effort in avoiding a problem than solving the problem.
Yeah, well, there's no problem for the engineers, right? It's not their job to worry about.
Well, there's a design flaw. It is not human engineered.
Yeah.
And the design flaw is that they forgot the lever action when they put the bolting in there to hold the hinges, and they're working the wrong way on the lever. They put the bolts in there so that they're operating at 2 times the load the way they have it set.
Well, plus they haven't designed it to keep the kids out.
Well, and we have a solution to that. They have so far refused to listen to. They say this problem is all over the city, so why should we work on it? You say, wait a minute, if it's a problem all over the city, here's a solution. If it works here, put it all over the city, and you won't have another job. Oh, excuse me, I didn't say that.
Anyway,
Was that the electrification
Go ahead and
option?
say it.
Excuse me.
Give them help.
anyway, it sounds like the deputy city attorney is maybe gonna do something.
It was on notice.
Well, at least the replying in writing.
Yeah, that's new, yeah.
That's step one.
A step
Yeah,
ahead
that's the
where we
first-
were
that's the
before,
first.
yeah.
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 When I was talking to the CD12 people, we had the manager of the city floodwaters, et cetera, there. They said, oh, we have this problem all over the place. We fixed the grade to back up, and we used epoxy to hold the bullets in, so that'll solve the problem. The professor and I just looked at each other and said, epoxy? And